You need to. Welcome, everybody. It's the 1970s class, and it is a gorgeous day in the villages. And here we are playing out of the 1970s book 367 on page 288. And the song is Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree. And we're going to do something a little bit easier today than what we've been doing. Yes, I still have an intro for you. And I use it as an intro, I use it as an interlude, and I use it as an ending. So you might want to have one of these. It will be on Patreon, but if you can't wait that long, let me know and I'll make sure you get it ahead of time. We are just going to work with presets today, the presets that are already in the instrument. So everything's going to be like a one button push. What I did is I lined them all up. I still saved them, so I saved them all in a line. But it's a lot easier when all you have to do is mark preset 5, preset 8, preset 0, and then just line them all up so you can play. Okay, what do we know about this? It was actually recorded by Tony Orlando and Daun, not me, in 2008. No, earlier, 1972. In 2008, Billboard ranked the song as the 37th biggest song of all time. That's pretty good ranking. Okay, so who else actually played this? Bing Crosby, 1973. Jim Nabors, remember him? He was Gomer Pyle. But he was also a very, very good singer. Perry Como, 1973. Dean Martin, same year. Frank Sinatra, 74. Freddie Fender, 75. Lawrence Welk, Bobby Goldsboro, 76. Harry Connick Jr., 2001. And Dolly Parton did this in 2003. So it's just a real nice, upbeat song. What's it about? What's it about? It's about somebody who was in prison, and now he's coming home, and he wants to know if his lady friend is still in love with him. So he's tie a yellow ribbon, because I don't want to know, I'm going to tell the bus driver to just keep on driving if I don't see a yellow ribbon. So that's going to tell me if I'm coming home and you still love me and we're still going to be okay. Let's do the road map first. Okay, you need your colors. And yeah, like Hal said, this is not real super hard. It's a pretty easy road map. So all of page 1, or page 288, all of the second page, all of the third page. Now, when you get to page 291, top line, you have a first ending and some brackets and some dots. The dots are sending you backwards to the beginning of the song. So take the same color, and in between the 4/4 and the quarter rest, make the same color. That way you know exactly where you're going. Now you're going to do the second verse. Bus driver, please look for me, 'cause I couldn't bear to see what I might see. I'm really still in prison, and my love, she holds the key. A simple yellow ribbon's what I need to set me free. I wrote and told her, please, to tie a yellow ribbon. And then that's your chorus. All of page 290. At the bottom of page 290, what you might want to do is put a little colorful 2 and then trace the 2 over here at the top of page 291. So you know the second time blue goes to blue. Okay. Now I'm also going to give you some places in here in the music where you're going to absolutely stop the music and play real slow. And I'm going to also tell you where all the presets are, and I am going to add some chords. Why? Because I can. And because this is an advanced class, and so it's considered intermediate advanced. So you can make it as easy or as hard as you like. If you want the chords, go ahead and play them. If you don't want them, ignore them. This song goes fast enough. Go to song setup. Song setup is the best place to start. And it comes up quick step at 172. I can't remember if I did anything. I have no ORC plus. I turned off the ORC plus for the introduction, but I am playing exactly what it gave me for song setup. I'm just going to play the song, and I want you to listen for the changes, and then I'll tell you where they all are and which presets I use. So all you have to do is fill in your notes, because no, I do not have a preset page for this. This is one that's a little bit easier than that, and you don't actually need that. So here we go. Tie a yellow ribbon.
That was
Okay.
great, Dawn.
Well
Um,
done.
now I did make a mistake. I kicked one too many times. You got to be careful with that. You got to kick in the right spots. And if you make a mistake, oh well, who cares? All I'm using are rhythm presets from Quick Start, for the Quick Step, excuse me, Quick Step. So that's all I'm doing. So we start with your song setup. Then don't forget, you need to go to your rhythm preset. Now I think if you go to song setup, let me just do that. Go to the alphabet, go to the T's, new keypad, alphabet. Come on. Doesn't like my fingernails today. Go to the T's, go to tie a yellow ribbon. All right, and it comes up with that. Now, I am turning off the Orchestra Plus for the introduction so that it's not quite so heavy. And I'm not using the intro, but you could. You could use the intro that it's given you. I didn't do that. I did my own introduction, but you didn't have to do that. So no
Dawn,
worries. Yes.
when I put mine in,
Mm-hmm.
it comes up, it's saying guitars, swing guitars.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to work just fine. How fast does it say?
It says 85.
All right, you're going to play it in double time.
Okay.
Okay? You're just going
All
to feel
right.
it. It's not,
All
you're not
right.
going to play it exactly as written. You're going to play it in 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So play it in
Okay.
double time. You'll be
Okay.
fine.
Dawn,
Yeah,
I have a question.
go
You
ahead.
said something about use their intro and not yours.
No, or both. You could use both.
Where's theirs?
Theirs is the intro ending that's here. Okay?
Duh. Okay.
Yeah, use the intro. You can use the intro
Never
ending.
mind. Of course.
I didn't use that. I just started out with a little bit of
Okay.
no chord and then started playing.
Yeah, because I liked yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can use the intro that it gives you. You can also use the intro that I have. You can mix and match them. You can play them both. It doesn't matter. This is your
okay.
song.
Okay.
Yeah. This is your song. So so A1, if you're going to mark them with your presets, A1 is the intro that the sheet that I have. A2 starts where the beginning of the song is. I'm coming home. And what that is quick start, rhythm preset number 2, or vintage number 2. So the sound that I'm using for verse 1 is the piano bell. Piano bell. And you don't have to worry about pushing buttons to try to find it. It's already done for you. That's what I mean about this being pretty easy. You're not going to be doing a lot of changing. We're going to work with the rhythm presets. Let's do something easy for a change. Okay, now it does come up with duet harmony, so that when you're playing, okay, so rhythm preset or vintage number 2, which is piano bells, or not. You can just leave it on song setup and go. It's going to be absolutely fine.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to play the whole first page. When we get to page 2, and I'm kind of going to fill you in on how to take notes on your... I have Andy here, and he's going, oh no! When you get to line 2 of the second page, okay, so line 2, you're going to play a chord, and yeah, I'm going to change it. But right after you play the chord, you're going to do an NC, no chord. So it's going to be the chord, no chord. If you still want, is going to be on the no chord. Then you play your G7. Then I'm going to fill in with some notes. And that is measure 1 of line 3. So instead of the rest, you're going to play this.
It to be A G.
It's actually G G F E D. So it's G G on the second line, F on the first space, E elephant on the first line, and D. I've got to let Luis in here. D dragonfly on the first space below the line. So G G F E D.
Dawn, excuse me, could you give us the note values of that little part, that measure, like quarter notes and 8 notes?
I think it's 16th notes on the G's. Maybe it's 8th notes. Why don't you make the G's 8th notes? Make the G's 8th notes, and then make the F, the E, and the D quarter notes.
Dawn, would you say the placement of those 5 keys again, please?
Oh, that's line 3 on page 289,
Yeah.
first measure where that whole rest is.
Yeah.
Yep. G, G, F, E, D. G, G are eighth notes. F, E, and D are quarter notes.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, right there, right at the end of that measure, that's where you're going to do A3. Now, what is A3? A3 is actually rhythm preset 0. Rhythm preset 0. But I think, did I add some strings? Nope. I think the strings are already there. Yeah. Just go to rhythm preset 0. And if you want to put it into A3, go ahead and do that. So, you know, you can write in rhythm preset 0 and then memorize things so that they all go right in a row.
And which instruments is that rhythm preset 0?
Rhythm preset 0 comes up piano plus orchestra. Pretty much like what the song setup
Vintage.
brought up.
Oh,
So your instruments are actually piano, xylophone. The xylophone is what gives it that little bit of a pop. Strings ensemble 1 and strings 8 tab. That's what's going to your upper keyboard. It's that xylophone that gives it that little pop. Okay, so let's turn the page. And it's on AOC Harmony, by the way. And it just comes up that way. Play all of page 290 with that. When you get to the end of the first ending, you're going to say repeat intro or play intro. And that's where I made the mistake, because you're not supposed to kick yet. You're supposed to play the intro on A3.
oh,
Okay? And then, when you go back to verse 2, now you're going to touch rhythm preset 3, or vintage 3, and put that into A4. Are you confused yet?
Just word, but
That's where A4 goes. But you're actually pushing rhythm preset 3 for the second verse. What does rhythm preset 3 have? What is it? It's an organ with a bell. So you've got your flutes on. It all comes up in your presets. Flute 16, flute 8, flute 4, flute 2. And then your upper tab is bells, number 32. And that's what's going on in your upper keyboard. It's organ with bells.
and that is A3,
Nope, that's going to be A4.
A4. Okay.
Rhythm preset 3, but it's A4.
Okay.
And I'm adding extra notes that when Dawn comes in and sings, she goes, ooh. So I'm adding the oohs. If you want them, they're there. And it's only the second time that you play it. Bus driver, please look for me. And then if you want to do that, beat 4 of that measure will be an A on the second line. The second space. And then at the beginning of line 2, you're going to put a G on the second line and an E on the first line. And you can play that while you're holding the B, or you can let go of the B and do it. Okay, so you're going to do 3 more notes. Line 3, first measure. Beat 4, you're going to put an A on the second space. At the beginning of the second measure, you're going to put a G on the second line and an F on the first space. Now that's optional, and it's only the second time that you play it.
Mhm.
And it just gives it a little bit of a kick to it. far?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now that's where
Don,
A3
excuse me.
starts.
The second time, sorry, excuse me, second time you played it.
That was the
the
second time I
measure-
played it.
Yeah, no, but the second measure of the second line of that on the second page,
Uh-huh.
you didn't retard that then? The second
No.
time?
Nope.
Okay.
I just did a no chord. The no chord probably gives you a feeling of that. I played it all in time, but I just did the chord, no chord, and then came in with a G7 again. Dun, 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 dun. Now, where you have A3, you also want to put A5. Because now we're going to kick again. We're going to go to A5. What is A5 actually? It's rhythm preset number 8. So if you're just pushing presets, it's rhythm preset 8 the second time you play it. So what actually is number 8? It's the piano and orchestra. It's basically the same thing that you have for rhythm
I can't
preset
hear.
0. Rhythm preset 8 is exactly the same as rhythm preset 0. So
Sorry.
so you could do 0 or you could do 8. It's the same one. I don't know why they have the same one in there, but they do. I think because there's a different lower keyboard and we're not using the lower keyboard. Or it could be that the harmony is different because now the more harmony is on and it's a polka harmony. So the harmony is a little bit different on rhythm preset 8. But if you're lining it up, it's going to be A5. And that's the second time you play it. Second ending. Okay, now second ending, you're going to want to do a little insert. Okay? You could just do a little V, like a little arrow pointing down to where those rests are, and you're going to put A6. What it actually is category country harmony 10L. That's about the only thing you're going to have to find here that you might want to put into a preset. Category country 10L. What is it? It's a harmonica. Because there's a harmonica solo in there. Now all I did was play the intro once in a low octave and once in a high octave. For those of you that have Fake It, go ahead and do a harmonica solo by putting on your Fake It and just doing some noodling. Okay? If you don't have the Fake It, just continue playing that introduction. Whoops. Octave. You might want to end it on a C chord. And then I'm going to stop. Stop. So you're going to put 2 parallel lines. Right before you do now the whole darn bus is cheering. So right before that, you're going to put 2 parallel lines and you're going to write stop. And that's going to be A7. A7.
And you put that where, John?
That's right before you do now the whole darn bus is cheering.
Okay, that's where I thought. Okay.
Yep. And you're going to go back to your rhythm preset A3, which is actually rhythm preset 0. Go back to rhythm preset 0, but you're going to turn off the rhythm. You want the sound for rhythm preset 0, but you want to, or you could just reach up and hit stop.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
You could just reach up and hit stop. Now, I didn't do that. I actually turned off the rhythm and left the sound. So that when I kicked from 6 to 7, stops immediately.
Hmm.
Because I go to the next preset, there's nothing to go to. There's no rhythm. So now I'm going to play everything on the top keyboard. And I'm going to play full-fingered chords. And yeah, I'll tell you what they are. And you can play it as slow as you want. And then right after the word C, which is a B note, you're going to put another double set of lines. And you're going to put A8. And now you're just going to add your rhythm back in. Keep the sound the same, just add your rhythm back in, which is actually your song setup with no introduction. That's all it is. And then start playing again. Oops, I got to do it. And then play your introduction and fade it out. So you're basically just touching presets. Are you doing some extra things? Yeah. Yeah, but this is an advanced class, so you want to do a couple things that are extra. Now, if all you want to do is put it on song setup and go, when you get to the part that says stop, you just reach up and hit stop. Don't do a no chord. And then just play on your upper keyboard. Don't do a no chord. You know why? A no chord's going to keep your drummer going, and you don't want the drums. You want to completely stop everything so that you can play it as slow as you want. And then when you come back in, it'll automatically start up again. So if you want to keep it simple, just set it up with your song setup. You might just want to go to the bottom keyboard instead of going to a different preset. And then when it comes to the stop, you just hit the stop button. Play on your top keyboard, and then continue. That's the easy way. You want to set up the presets so they go across. That just gives it a little bit of a challenge. But all you're using are rhythm presets that are already there. So this is a little bit easier of an assignment. Yep. Okay, did I change some
Dawn?
chords? Yes, I did. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what was in A7? What was the?
Have some pizza or something. That's not a lunch. Have a sandwich.
A7 is basically song setup, and I turned the rhythm off. I just turned the rhythm right off. I just went up and touched it and turned it right off. Why? So that when I kicked to A7, it stopped it. If I left the rhythm on,
The stop, I get it. Okay.
yeah, so
That's
that so that when I go to the next preset, it stops it because there's no rhythm to do anything.
Okay, got it.
You
Thank
don't have to hit the stop. You don't have to look for the stop. You can just go to the next preset and there's no rhythm there. But then you have to reset it back up and put it in rhythm preset 8 in order to continue with the last part of the song.
Okay.
So
Right.
however easy or hard you want to do it, it just, again, helps you to find things that your organ has. Use all these fabulous things. All right, now, extra chords? Yeah, because I can. Now, you don't need any of them, but if you want to put some in, here we go. Let's go back to page 288. First page, no changes. They're all as written. Let's go to the second page. The D can be a D, a D7, or a D9. A D9 is a 4-fingered chord, and your notes are C chicken, D dinosaur, E elephant, and F sharp, sharp fish. And it'll say D9 in the window, so if you check it, it'll say. Now the A flat, if you like A flat, play it. If you want to challenge yourself, make it an F minor 6, which means you have to pull your hand out of position because a 6 chord has to be in root position on these Lowry Easy Play organs. So your notes are going to be F, A flat, C chicken, D dinosaur. And it'll say F minor 6. It's not that much different from the A, but it does give it a minor tone, which actually works better for the song. So you want to play F minor 6, then go to the G7 on line 2, and then the second measure on line 2, change that A flat to an F minor 6, and then play the no chord. And you want your drums to keep going so you can stay in time, and then you come in again where the G7 is. Questions on that? Nope. You guys are good. Rest of the page, no changes. Let's turn the page. Page 290, line 2. Second measure. The C chord is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the E for oak. Put an E or an E7, which would be D and E. The A minor is fine, right where it is, for 2 counts. Beat 3, which is in between the notes, you want to make it an A minor 7. Or not, because 7s are always optional. But if you add the 7, it's C, G, and A. Next line. If this is the only chord you add, this is the one you need to put in. The C is good for 1 measure. Measure 2 over the E for get. Forget about us. Make it a C augmented, which is C, E, and G sharp. C, E, and G sharp. Because if you just play it as is, it's going to sound like this. I can't remember what number I'm supposed to be on. I think 5. Okay. That's boring. You want to play that C augmented. It's going to sound like this. Hear it?
Mhm.
Yeah. It just gives it a little bit of movement. That G sharp brings it up. If that's the only chord you learn in this song, that's the one. That's the one you should learn. Let's go to the next line. Line 4, the A minor is good, right where it is. Second measure, the A can be an A7 or an A9. An A9 is a 4-fingered chord. And your notes are C sharp. I'm playing that with my pinky. G, A, B. And I'm playing the A and the B with my thumb. Or you can put the C sharp on top if you want. Doesn't matter. Whichever one's easiest, it's the same.
Mhm.
A9. The D minor, you can put a 7 on it if you want. And let's go to the last page. Third line. Second measure. The A can be an A7 or an A9, which is that same chord that we just had. C sharp, G, A, B. Next line. The D minor can have a 7 on it. The F minor is fine just the way it is. And the next D minor can have a 7 on it. And that's it. So you have some challenges if you want. But you can just put it on song setup and play. That's the cool thing about this song. Any questions?
Don, I have a question for you real quick.
Okay.
Since we're going in like not so much roadmap on the thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it out in the music score, and I'm going
Okay.
to write the changes down. I'm going to email you. Will you email me back and let me know if it's all correct?
Oh, okay. Sure. I can do that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Not a problem. Not a
Okay.
problem.
And then I'm willing to share it with everybody if that'll help. I believe in sharing,
Anything that helps is a good thing. That's it.
and it'll be in the super easy version.
Any tools that we can use and share, it's a good thing. That's why we play Easy Play.
Dawn,
Yeah.
on page 291, the last page,
Uh-huh.
last line, we faded out at the end of the line, didn't we?
Nope. It's going to be play intro and fade
Oh.
out.
Okay.
Now, if you want to just fade out there, you could. Or you could actually touch the intro ending here. That'll be
Okay.
fine. Or go back to the intro that I wrote out for you and
Okay.
fade out the intro.
Yeah, that's what I thought you had. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So that intro page is actually an intro,
Yeah.
an interlude, and an ending.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Use it wherever you want to use it. Use it wherever you want to use it. See, that's the cool thing too, is you get to be the arranger. You get to say, okay, I didn't like rhythm preset 3. I'd rather play rhythm preset 4. So this is where you get to be a little bit of an arranger too.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a really fun song to play. I hope you enjoy it. We still have fingering to do. So for those of you that need fingering, stick around. Next week we will do Time in a Bottle. Jim Croce. I love this song. It's very beautiful. Yep. Okay. Do not forget, have your 10 songs with the word rain that you think I'm going to play so you can win some valuable prizes. Saturday at 1 o'clock Florida time. Join me. It'll be on Zoom. It'll also be here in the store live. So come on in. We'll have a good time. All right. For the rest of you, thank you so much for coming. I can't do it without you. It's wonderful to see you all today. And if you have your pencils, let's put in some fingering. All right. And pretty much your fingers are just going to bounce on the notes. And if they don't bounce the same place that mine want to bounce, it's okay. It's actually okay. All right, here we go. C1, C1. E3. G5, G5, G5. C2. B1. Next line. E2. G4. A5. G4, G4. F3. E2, E2. F3. G4. F3. If you received my letter, G4, G4, F3, G4, F3. Next line, G4, F3, C1, D2, E1. Circle it. That is a thumb tuck. E1, E1, A3, A3, C5. Next page, C5, C5, A3, A3, E1, E1, A3. A flat 2, A flat 2, B flat 3, A flat 2, G1, A flat 2, A flat 2, B flat 3, A flat 2, G1. And then the dun 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 dun. I did 4 4 3 2 1. You do whichever fingers work for you. Tie a yellow ribbon. This one pretty much is spidering your hand, and whatever fingers get there first are the winner. But try this and see if it works. C5, G2, A3, E1, G. Put an arrow on it. It can either be a 5 or a 4. C1. D. Put an arrow on it. Make it a 3. C2. B1. See how I'm just kind of spidering my hand all the way down? If your fingers do something a little different, but it's comfortable, erase mine and put your own in. So the low B is a 1. The A is a 5. G4. A5. G4. Low B flat 1, high A5, G4, A5, G4. Turn the page. Low A1, G5, F4. Or you could have done G4, F3. Doesn't matter. Then a little check mark because you're taking a little breath. F3, G4, F3, G4, F3. Let's go to the second line. G4, F3, low C1, D2, E3, E3, D2, C1, D2, E3, 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 C1, E3, 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 and at the end of the line, put a little check mark. That means you're going to take a little breath with your hand. E1, E1, G3, A4, B5, A4, G3, F2, G3, F2. G can be 3, F2, and C1, D2, E3, check mark. Now, I know it's the middle of a phrase. If you can go from a 3 to a 4 easily, do it. But it's easier for me to do a bounce on the 3 and then the next E quarter note, make it a 2. Over the word the, make it a 2. So you're going to go from 3 to 2. You're just going to bounce. E2, G4, A5. First ending C1. Second ending C1. End of the line, G4, F3. Second line, G4, F3, G4, F3, G4, F3. Low C1, D2, E1. Circle it, that's a thumb tuck. E1, G3, A4, B5. A4, G3, F2, G3, F2, G3, F2, C1, D2, E3, check mark, same thing. You're going to bounce and go from the 3 to the 2. So the last line is E2, G4, A5, C1. Got it?
I do.
All right. You guys are awesome. This is a fun song to play. Just bounce on it. Have a good time. Like I said, you don't have to do any of the presets that I did. You can just touch the rhythm presets if you want. Whatever that works for you. Now remember, song setup never turns on the rhythm preset. So when you do go to rhythm presets, make sure you touch that normal or vintage button so that all of these 10 will now change to rhythm presets for the quick step. Okay? You guys are the best. Thank you so much. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you.
Some of you, I'll see you on Wednesday as well. Wednesday we have level 3 at 11 o'clock. I also believe Robert's doing something on Thursday, so make sure you check that out.
Thank you, Dawn. Very nice class.
Very nice.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Can't do it without you. You guys are the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye.